I'm holding a horseradish leaf. Horseradish really loves to proliferate in my garden, and I have quite a bit of it. I've had to dig some out actually because I had so much of it. This is the leaf, and then when it goes to flower, this is an example of what the flower looks like, these little white flowers on top. Now horseradish is that really hot flavored root that we use. We chop it up, maybe we put it in some sour cream, and when we have roast beef or something, some people like to use a horseradish sauce on a roast beef sandwich or with their hot roast at a dinner. The root is the part we use, and the root is unbelievably long. The root can be as long as this leaflet that I'm holding. So when you dig up this root, be sure that you have the right kind of shovel to dig it with, and also that you dig the root in the fall. I'm going to tell you a little story about horseradish. I wanted some horseradish and it was the springtime. So I came out here and I dug up some root and I chopped it up, and it didn't have hardly any flavor at all. It was very watered down, it wasn't hot and spicy, it was just sort of mushy. And I thought, geez, that's weird. Well, then I thought later in the summer that I would go out and get some horseradish and make the preparation where you grind it up or you shred it and you put salt and vinegar on it, and it keeps in your refrigerator for a couple of months like that. So I came and I dug up a whole root, and the root is a tap root. So a tap root is a long, straight root, and it can be actually 1.5 to 2 feet long. So I dug up the root, I washed it off, I sliced it, and I put it in my Cuisinart, and I whirred the Cuisinart around, and because when I'd used horseradish before, I didn't think it would be very potent, I took the lid off of the Cuisinart, took the lid off, put my head over the Cuisinart, took a whiff, and it about blew the top of my head off. Honestly, my eyes were watering, I was choking, my nose was running, I turned bright red, I could barely breathe. So a word of caution, when you work with horseradish, be very careful because it can be very potent and very strong. So as we go through this series, I want to share with you information that's really useful, and I want to help you get the right resources and tools into your herb gardening experience so that your job is easier. This is a shovel that's used to dig trenches. I think they call it a trench shovel, but it's really an herbalist's best friend when she's tried to dig up roots. It's much better than a wide blade shovel, and especially for a long tap root, which is like a long, thick pencil in the ground. If you go down around the root on all 4 sides, like this, and dig it in, and then try to get the root out of the ground, you're going to have a lot more success than if you put it in the ground and then try to, pop it out. So that's my recommendation for you. These shovels are not very expensive, but they're not always easy to find. So go to your gardener catalog or go to your hardware store, Home Depot or something, but this is a fantastic tool to have, and I recommend it for everybody.